Did you go to any conventions this year? We went to one during the summer. We went to Southern Board Game Fest in the spring. But the one we went to in the summer is Dice Tower East. This is a small, medium-ish type of board game con. It's no Gen Con. It's no PAX U. It's about, I don't know, 3,000 people. I didn't get really a number on it.
It's
2,000 to 3,000.
It's grown, but it's still about in that 2,000 to 3,000 range. It's like not your small con, but definitely not at that higher level.
So we're going to talk about the top 10 games we played here. And so you might be watching this not just for Dice Tower East, but maybe you want to see what the new hotness is. We may cover that here, or we might talk about some games that we just missed playing in 2024, 2023, something like that. And maybe we'll talk about those as well. We'll see what happens on our top 10 Dice Tower East. So let's start with top 10, number 10.
Yeah, do you want to do any honorable mentions or save those until right before the end?
See, there's always ways to do that. I don't know. What do you prefer as a viewer? Do you like to hear honorable mentions at all? Or do you like to hear them before the 10? Or some people save them for after the 2.
Right before you do the top 1.
Yeah.
Just like before we get to our top choice, let's mention a couple honorable mentions for I think we'll do it that way. So
as a viewer, I would like to know what you prefer with that. How are we going to do this right now, though?
I think right before we get to the top 1. So after number 2, we'll mention a couple honorable mentions before we hit number 1 game.
All right. You can lead us off with number 10.
All right. So I'm going to lead off with number 10, and that is Dwellings of Eldervale.
And I do want to say we're making separate top 10 lists. So that's your number 10.
This is my number 10.
We'll see where that falls with me. Mm-hmm. Do we want to talk about it later? Since it is in my top 10 somewhere?
Ooh, it is in your top 10 somewhere.
Yeah, I think we should talk about it later.
Okay, we can talk about it later.
Okay, I think this one's going to be in your top 10 as well. So I'm not even going to say it. I know it is. But let's move on to number 9. My number 9 is Dwellings of Eldervale, so we can talk about it right now.
Right now. Okay. So this is one that's kind of the before Andromeda's Edge, of which we have played and had played before Dice Tower. But it was nice to go back to a game that is still fairly new to a lot of people, but we just hadn't experienced it yet. And to see the comparisons, the likes and the differences, and just the style of the game. I like that style of game. So that's why it was interesting to be able to play again. Like, we were familiar with Andromeda's Edge, but who we played with, Ronald and Ramp, like, they had not played either one. So it's very new to them. So it was kind of nice to get that chance to see the differences and what I liked and didn't like about that.
Yeah. I'm glad we visited it as well, because I was on the fence about getting it because of how much I like Andromeda's Edge. I'm glad we didn't, because it was way too similar, in my opinion. I have it at my number 9, though. And to put that context on it, we played 37, 40 plus games.
Yeah, I think mine came in at 34. So this is me ranking my top 10 out of a 30 plus gameplay over the entirety of the con. So out of all the 30 plus games we played, this came in at my 10. So that says a lot about it. And it came in at your 9. So that says a lot about it too.
And I played more than you.
Yeah.
And my counting, some games we played over and over again. So honestly, that number would be in the 40s, really.
Yeah.
Because like when we played, I don't know if this is going to be on our list, but some games that have like episodic things, maybe that would be 3 games instead of just one sit down and playing one session. But Dwellings of Eldervale, I gave this one a 7.5. In my top 10, I liked to, number 1 was my highest and then went down from there. This breaks the rule, though, because if I hadn't experienced Andromeda's Edge, it would be higher on my list. Knowing the game that is so similar to it is out there brings it down on my list. But if it were just a standalone, if this were 2022 or something before Andromeda's Edge came out, or whatever year it came out, it would be much higher. I did enjoy it, but I like Andromeda's Edge way more.
Yeah, and I ranked it at a 6.8. I'm very space theme driven. And so for me, Andromeda's Edge having that space theme pulls me more than this style of what, Dwellings had, like more creature, and it wasn't like that space that I really am driven to.
I just feel like it's Andromeda's Edge is more polished. Yeah.
But yeah. Still good rate. I mean, still very high ratings.
That was your number 10. My number 9. What is your number 9?
My number 9 is Castell. Now, this is
interesting.
This is going back to that feeling of we're at a con. There are games that sometimes you forget how much you like. You forget that, oh yeah, we have that game. Why aren't we playing it more? It takes going to a convention with people that you don't normally all the time get to play at the table with, kind of games. Something that was on possibly one of their wish list of like stuff to play.
That's why I brought it. This is a game from 2018 about stacking people up in Catalonia. It's a game that's been around a while. I don't see it getting a reprint. It's probably out of print, if I had to guess. It's a simple, nice game to play.
Yeah, it was just something that really made me realize, that the con experience can bring out the games that you don't always bring to the table on a regular basis, that you almost forget how much you like them and why you liked them in the first place. And to be able to experience it with a person who has not experienced the game before, and you bring that love of the game back. That's why it's definitely an older game, so it's not one of the new hotness or at the con.
Not at all.
Hotness. But I ranked it at that 9 because oh wow, this was an awesome, getting the game back out again.
So we made these lists separately without any rules to it. But one of the rules I personally put on my list are these games were new to me at the convention. So we played older games, some of them Melissa might mention, that were great plays. And if I were doing it that way, of course, they would probably work their way in. But all 10 of mine were new experiences.
And see, I think mine were about the love of the game and how much I either loved revisiting something that I hadn't, played in a while, or something brand new to me. There are a lot of new on here, old and new. But mine was all about the experience, the level of joy I got at the con from that game.
All right. So we went, it was 10.
Oh yeah.
Who's next?
Do we put our rankings?
Well, I'm not going to rank Castell, so you rank.
Oh, yeah. So I rated it.
You rank your own things.
Yeah. So I rate Castell at a 7. It's a solid 7 for me. Very good game. Still holds up.
Yeah. If I had to just pull a rating out for Castell, 7.4 comes to mind. I mean, I don't have to rank it right now, so I didn't put too much thought into that. But just off the dome, that's what I think.
Okay, so we're on number 8. Would you like to say you're number 8?
Is that how we're doing it?
Suppose I just had my number 9.
Yeah. I mean, I guess so.
Unless did you say you're? You
it's
did
either
say you're
we're
number
snaking
9.
it or we're just going with it. You know what? We'll just go with it. Whoever happens to bring it up. My number 8 is a game called Hedge Maze. This is
Hedge Maze.
All right.
Well, go ahead. You speak first, then I'll give my opinion.
All right. So this is I thought this was a neat game. This is one we demoed. Mm-hmm. This is a game where you're building a hedge maze on your own board, but the pieces that are moving on your board belong to another player. And that other player is trying to pick up things on your board. So you're building these hedge maze to block them, and there are rules to it. So this is kind of like those snake games that are out right now, where you're moving your snake in front and you're blocking other snakes in. Maybe I'll cut to a clip of it right here, or not. But I thought it was cool, like building your hedge to strategize how you think these people are going to move in the game. It's not overly confusing. I could see how it could be a little fiddly at times because all these little, I guess they were gnomes you were picking up in the game.
Yeah.
They all have different rules, which you can wrap your head around it enough, I guess. I didn't find it too confusing, but it seems like everyone else at the table was having trouble with it. I thought what was happening on the table, I got it. Yeah, and that's probably why I did really well.
My thing wasn't about any confusions, is that I didn't like the fact of what's in front of me is not necessarily what I'm controlling other than just movement. It's like I was so dead set on giving my gnomes the most movement as possible that I kind of almost ignored what was going on the other side as far as like the actual what was being placed in front of me to block me. It's like I think I just got really distracted by the fact of one board in front of you, certain things are happening, but the other board across from you, other things are happening too that affect you. And wait a second, you can't just concentrate on just this thing. You got to concentrate on that thing too. Oh gosh, I
thought that was cool.
And it is a very cool mechanic. I'm not against the mechanic part of it being interesting. It's just if you allow yourself to get too bogged down of concentrating on only one board but not the other board, you will lose the battle because you've allowed the other person that's controlling their board as well to do things against you that you just weren't paying attention to.
Yeah.
And so there's so many times where I was like, wait a second. Wait, he moved that thing. Oh no. Oh, now I'm all like, it would just like confuse me in a way that was just kind of frustrating because what I was expecting to do, oh, now it's not there anymore. Okay, now what do I do? You know, and that's a little AP for me personally. It was like inducing like, but now I got to figure out something else. But
I gave this game a 6.8. It's not one I need to own, but I enjoyed my play of it. And if someone had it, I'd probably be like pleasantly surprised to see it. It's a unique game.
Yeah.
And that gives it points to me. But it's not unique enough to be like, that's one I need to get and keep pulling out to the table. You don't have to give it a grade because you don't have to.
I would agree pretty much. Like mine might be more 6.5 S scale, but I agree. It's an interesting concept.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what is your number 8?
So my number 8 is staying within that same realm, kind of my feelings on Castell, which was 9. This is Caverna. Okay, so now Caverna is not the new hotness. Oh yes, Caverna, the new hotness of 2025.
Let's see when that game came out.
It might have been the hotness of its year.
I think 2014. That's my early guess.
Caverna is something that we've had for
2013.
Yeah. Pretty much since the first Dice Tower Con we ever went to. We've had this game for forever. Caverna is something I used to be kind of afraid of. Not because it's a difficult game, but the setup. It is a monster setup. It is kind of a table hog. Lots of components, lots of pieces, lots of stuff. I used to joke constantly, oh gosh, Caverna, the game that's going to take you longer to set up than you play the game. You know, it's just,
That's kind of true.
Yeah, I would kind of like, you know, a little hesitant getting it out because of that. But it had been so long since we played it, and it's one of if not Ramp's like favorites. It's something that
Ramp is someone we met. I mean, not met there, but met up with at Dice Tower.
Yeah, and it was like, you know, it was something that, just like with Castell, it was like bringing back that joy of something I hadn't played in a really long time. And knowing that it was somebody else's favorite. And I just really appreciated the chance to play it in a convention like atmosphere and just enjoy it. Enjoy being able to play it, having not played in a very long time. And it was just like, what was I so hesitant? This is not hard. It's not a hard game. It's just something you just don't pull out all the time. And so I was like, I just really liked my experience with it. It's like, going back to watch an old movie, haven't watched it in forever, and like, gosh, I forgot how much I liked this, so
yeah.
It was just a good, good feeling playing it.
Did you give it a grade?
7.1. So it's
interesting.
Yeah, it's like in that set, like I had that same genuine feeling. My Caverna and Castell, that right there, 8, 9, both in that 7. Like it's solid feelings.
My old grade on it is a 6.8 because I looked at my BGG and saw what I rated it. I think it would go up slightly from there. I think it could hit 7. I do like it. Yeah. There's a lot of options in that game. So it has replayability.
Yeah.
All right. So from there, you can jump down to your number 7.
And we still haven't heard your 10, so I'm really curious as to what it might be.
It's going to jump in here, and if it doesn't, it's not going to be your number 1. So if you don't hit it by then, I'll throw it in with the honorable mentions.
Okay, it's like...
I think it's on your list,
What might it be? No, we'll see. All right, so my number 7, Wine Cellar.
Cool. I don't think you need to talk about that yet because it's on my list.
Ooh, so what's your number 7?
My number 7 I could confidently talk about because you didn't play it.
Oh, okay.
In fact, my next 2 are games you didn't play. This is why I have 40-something more, or 40-something plays, and you have 30-something plays.
Yeah, because there were a few games where...
Well, let's talk about them. The first one that I played without you, that is my number 7, is Sky Team.
Oh, yes. Okay.
This is a 2-player game about landing a plane. One of you is a pilot, one of the other one's a co-pilot, and you each have your responsibilities to get this plane landed. And you do so by rolling dice and assigning them into particular spots. And you just got to hope the right rolls come up.
Oh, dear.
And that you played them at the right time. I could see how some people would be upset by this game because there's a lot of luck involved. But what it does well is to give you that tension, because when it comes to landing a plane, at least in this game, they're covering everything. They're covering how straight is your plane, how far away is the land, the tarmac. I think, and how many planes are in the way for you to get there. And they do all of that on this one little console, which is a really cool way of doing it. We played 2 games of it. We did the tutorial teach us how to play thing, aced it, and then we were like, okay, let's go with something a little more challenging because I think we got it. Like, we really did ace it. And then we went to a yellow difficulty. It goes like green, yellow, red. And the yellow one was tougher because it starts to make you do certain things at certain times, like mimicking like mountains in it. So it's like, okay, you need to be your plane needs to be further to the right before coming into the landing in the center of this fictional layout. They're all based on real places. I don't know how real it would be, but I thought what it did well. There's a lot of replayability, but you're doing the same thing the whole time. You're rolling these dice and hoping to get these numbers. So the luck aspect didn't really pull me in. There's no way to... Well, there are ways to change your dice, but you're very limited on it. I gave this game a 7. It won, I believe, Game of the Year. So, the Spiel des Jahres. So it's a cool game to play. It's on BGA. And that... I would play it on BGA again. I don't think I need to own it. So I'm glad I haven't bit the bullet and
see,
started
that's why I was really glad that there were a few moments where we did branch off, whether it's because I was just not available at the time or didn't particularly care to play for that, at that time for that game. And so it was kind of neat that we did have some split off times where you did get to go experience a game that maybe I wouldn't have really liked that style or that theme.
I think you would like it okay. It's tense, though.
Yeah. And
the tension is high. I mean, because, it makes sense with the 2-player game, though. It's especially when it's co-op. It is co-op. Just because you're both trying to land a plane. But that keeps the tension high. Any co-op game, you should have high tension. So it really does that well. If you want a tense co-op that doesn't take long to play, whereas I feel like if you play Pandemic, you're sitting there for at least 60 minutes. Your tension's high, but it's spread out over 60 minutes, where this can be done in 15 to 20 minutes, and the tension is still super high. So, Sky Team. That's my number 7.
Awesome. Now, what about your number 6? Because you said that was also maybe something that I did not play as well.
So this is another game that you did not participate in because I woke up earlier than you. So we played it 3-player instead of 4. This is a game called The Gang. This is a game based on Texas Hold'em poker, but it's also a co-op. You have these betting chips, and you're betting who's going to win the order. Like it uses the real hands in poker. The top being royal flush, the bottom being 2-pair. So throughout the game, every time you do the river and everything else, you're letting the other players know how strong you think your hand is. And by the end, it needs to be right in order to win. So for the 3 of us, we had to make sure, okay, if I think I have the strongest hand, I better take the biggest chip. And then it goes on from there. At 3 players, which is the minimum player count, I felt it was kind of easy. But I saw the potential in this. A 4 or 5 player game, I think, is where its sweet spot is. Having it 6, I think that would be very difficult. Figuring out the order of 6 players of who's going to win this thing.
Oh, yeah. It's because that would be something like, as you're describing it, I was like, oh, maybe it was best that I let y'all just play that one out. Because me trying to figure out where I might place my number at, it's already...
You have a guide that says what your hand is, and if you have a low 2-pair, then you're not...
It's already like...
I guess, face card would be the lowest.
It's like already a co-op, which, I will play co-ops, but not normally. It's not my cup of tea normally. But there's just something about like having to put in an order and what I might think is big or small versus someone else's interpretation of big or small might not be the same. And so it's like, what if I just choose wrong? And then I could totally see where if you had full 6-player, that might be a lot for every person be doing it right. Like, ooh, you better just really know.
This is a game that ramps up difficulty by adding people. So you want to play it at the easiest, try it with 3. And you really get the concept of the game. I think 4 would be, 5 would be a sweet spot. Both of those. I gave this game a 7.0. Same as Sky Team. If you like poker, try it. Honestly, I bet if you have a standard deck of cards, there's nothing in this box you can't replicate. The only thing were the chips in the middle were poker chips with like, there was a number of stars on them that told you where you rank in it. You can have one deck of cards that's a deck of cards, and then another deck of cards that, the ace, 2, 3, 4 would be the amount of stars. Sorry, Cosmos, who makes the gang, but you can really just copy this game so easily and test it yourself. But I encourage you to go buy the game itself. It's a nice copy of the game. However, this is a side complaint about Dice Tower East. It was beat to hell.
Oh.
There were a lot of games at Dice Tower East that were beat up. Now, they get a lot of play, so it's to be expected, but they're not replacing any games. But this game was from 2024. And there was another game that we played. I don't know if it's on your list, but it was also beat up.
I know what you're talking about. It is not on my list.
Okay, Lord of the Rings, the trick-taking game, was beat to hell. It's a brand new game. I believe it's still on the HOTNESS.
Yeah, it was, and like really like the quality when you tried to like move the cards, I'm like, what is
you couldn't
wrong
shuffle
with these cards?
Lord of the Rings was worse
Oh, yeah.
than the gang. But the gang, I made a short video about it and pointed out how bad condition these cards were. It wasn't the case for every game. I think Dwellings was fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's other games that were fine. But those two, I think, were the standouts for worst condition. But we're not talking about that right now. In fact, I think we talked about it as much as we can.
Yeah.
Let's talk about number 6.
All right, my number 6. Creature Caravan.
Oh, that's my number 10.
We've found it.
Yep.
Yay.
You discovered my number 10.
So for me, Creature Caravan, we have played a lot of like we just recently played the Sleeping Gods. And we played
about Ryan Lockett games or Red Raven games.
Just those games in general. Yeah, we played a lot of them. We played all the above and belows and the ups and the downs and
My favorite's the ups and the downs.
yeah, but the other ones.
Left and the right's pretty good.
They all have a lot of storyline to them, which can be awesome. And I'm not saying that that's not a good part of the usual Ryan Lockett, Red Raven, those style games. But with Creature Caravan, what I really liked about it, it's more about just the gameplay itself. It's not this, you're going to read a story baseline of some adventure happened and you went out. It's pretty much you have these cards and you're going to you need this caravan to make it from this side of the board and you need it to get to that side of the board. And if it makes it, awesome, you get bonuses, or awesome, you've made it. If something happens along the way, well, then you deal with it.
Yeah.
The good and the bad. But it's really, in essence, it is simply get from point A to point B with this caravan. And how will these cards help you do that?
Well, let's talk about some additional details before you get too into it, just in case someone hasn't played it before.
Yeah.
This is a dice placement game that's played asynchronously at the same time.
Yeah.
So everyone's going to roll these dice and plug them in to activate certain people they have recruited onto their team. Mm-hmm. But everyone's doing it at the same time, which it can equal movement. It can equal little bonuses here and there. It can equal resolving like fights or something like that, like with
like little battles that happen along the way. It could give you goods could get you additional cards. Things can happen from the cards. There's just.
But like you said, the goal of the game is. It's not even really the goal of the game, but it's just a path to go on, to go from one side to the other. It's you don't have to make it to the other side.
No, and I didn't. I did not make it to the other end. I was close, but no cigar. Like, it was like I got as far as I possibly could with what was dealt to me. But the goal from getting from one side to next is that you will get benefits from how far you go. It does get you points. You will get benefits for what you pass up or what you do along the way, and all of that that makes the game. And the async part of it can help and hurt. You have to really make sure you're on top of things, what you're doing while other people are doing their thing. But it does help with the timing of the turns. It makes things go by a little bit quicker because it's async. You don't have to sit there and wait on everybody to do their stuff.
Yeah.
When
async comes with its downsides too.
Yeah, when you're learning, it's kind of like, am I doing this right?
Yeah, and people can accidentally cheat and you'll never catch it. When it's this level of async, there's a right level of async that I think needs to be, it's a whole nother topic. My quick opinion on that is async where there's only a few things going on is good. Async like in Last Light is good. This one is too complicated to be async. I think you need to do a lot of hand holding in this one. It could have been a little simpler, honestly. And maybe that would have been more fun because then I don't feel like I'm messing up anything. I don't have to worry about other players. But if you're all experienced with this game, I think it could play pretty well. But that's the reason it was in my number 10 spot rather than higher than that. And I gave this game a 6.8. I don't need to own it. There's other Lockett games I would like to have eventually, like Above and Below. Haunted is a new one because I was like, ooh, I should get Above and Below. But then he announced this new one, which actually we talked to him about it in the PAX U video right here on this channel. So hit that subscribe button and go check it out, where we talk about actually Creature Caravans with him as well. But we hadn't played at that point. I just got him. I actually talked with him about async games and what his thoughts are on that. So you could check that out in that video. But what is your ranking?
Yeah, so I rated a little higher at a 7.5. I think a lot of that comes from this has been, of the Ryan Locketts I played, this has been my favorite so far of any Ryan Lockett game that I have encountered. I really liked the cards. It's that art that you're used to with Above and Below style. It's that art that I really do enjoy. I liked the dice placement on the cards. That's like a really neat kind of, you can manipulate the dice possibly, but just like the dice placement was nice.
That's something that's seen in his other games as well.
Yeah. And so I liked that it gave a little bit of like, you definitely, when you look at it, that's a Ryan Lockett. You could look at, you could tell. Yeah, I know this Lockett style. But there was something different about it that I enjoyed differently than other games of his in the past I've played. So 7.5. I really did enjoy the gameplay of that one.
7.5. Speaking of 5, what's your number 5?
Number 5. All right, so this one is a new hotness for this dice tower. At least I feel like it was the new hotness. Very highly checked out from what I understand, and that is Hot Streak.
We're gonna have to talk about it later.
All right,
it is
stay tuned. Stay tuned.
So my number 5 is one I acquired at the virtual flea market, which is that's a whole subject to talk about too. The virtual flea market, ups and downs to it. But really briefly, I really like the online part of it. In person was kind of a mess this year, which normally it isn't a mess, but they tried something new. It didn't work, in my opinion. If you want to hear more about that, post that in the comments below. Tell us about the virtual flea market. Tell us about Dice Tower. But right now, let's talk about Inkling.
Oh, Inkling. Well,
or what?
That'll come up later for me.
Oh, it's your number 1, 2, 3, or 4?
No.
Well, then we're talking about it now. If it's not on your list, we're talking about it.
It's on the list. It's just
5? If it's an honorable mention, we're just talking about it now.
okay. Then you talk about it now, and I'll.
Honorable mentions don't count for the hold up.
Okay. Just
Why would I stop for an honorable mention?
Just
Come
making
on.
sure. All right.
Jeez. All right. So Inkling is a game from Osprey Games. It's a game where you have all these letters on cards, but they're not quite letters. They're a little weird looking, and you can use that weird looking word and mesh it with other weird looking letters. Mesh it with other weird looking letters to make words, because the goal of this game is to make words that other people will guess. You'll be guessing other people's words as well. We have a whole playthrough here on this channel where we play Inkling. In fact, you could watch it and guess what kind of words we're doing and see how many points you would score. But so in this game, I think it's so cool because you're playing a word game that isn't really play like a word game, because you don't need to know how to spell. You don't even need to make it make sense. One of the players at the table threw the word idea out the window and just kind of played charades with the words, or played charades with the cards. So it doesn't say you can't do that. I mean, I don't know. It's not the way I would play. Let me put it that way. It was risky, and so risky that it didn't really pay off. No. But I think Inkling has some staying power here. Staying power in the collection for sure, because it's somewhere up there.
It's on the table because we recently played.
No, I moved it back.
Oh,
I did.
I thought I saw it on the table because we played it recently.
Yeah, maybe it's on the table. But I give this one a 7.2. Check out the playthrough where I do teach how to play it. That'll cover everything.
Well, I'll go ahead and give my thoughts on it, since it did make my honorable mention, which I can go ahead. I had a couple, but this this would have made number 11 had it, kind of not, it was so close. It was like right there, I'm not.
You know a lot.
Huh?
You say you know a lot. I don't know. You're telling me.
Well, you know that I'm not really a words, like word games are not.
You've just shown that.
Yeah, see, I'm not very good with the words.
Good with words.
I'm not good with words. Word games are not usually my go-tos to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of word games really rely on spelling and knowing words that are long and whatnot. But this one, spelling doesn't even matter. You can spell it however you want as long as you think that you're going to get the person to understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That really appealed to me. I was like, oh, spelling is not a big deal. Great. I don't have to worry about if I spell it wrong. I can kind of make it however I want to, because you can like create your own little like patterns with the letters and the forming it, and you could crossword it down or move it around. Like, that's cool. Still, it is a word game, so sometimes it's hard for me to understand how to communicate the word with people, and so that's what kind of didn't put it in that top 10 realm for me. But I still give it a solid, I ranked it a 6.7, and for me, that is high for a word game.
Yeah.
Usually I wouldn't even it wouldn't even rank. So I did very much like Inkling. It was very different. It's a different style word game that I can wrap my head around.
Well, my number 4 is also a word game.
Ooh.
It's a word game with a map called Landmarks.
Oh.
Not even mentioned on yours. Interesting. This is another one I picked up on the virtual flea market. It's a game kind of like Codenames. People will compare it to that, but you're one, I guess, code name person. What do they call them in Codenames?
Like the
single person, and then there's all the other players. Person that knows the secret, that knows the secrets.
Yeah, like the code masters. I don't know.
Sure,
like
we'll call it a code master.
I don't know what the.
In this game, there's a hex board. Think Catan, where it has all those things, but it's blanks. And you're trying to get the other players to go from this one point to collect treasure and then find the exit. You have a map of that says the hexes they need to visit in order for that to be done. When they visit any hex, you tell them what is on that hex in the game. Sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes it's a trap. That could be bad. And then sometimes it's a curse that can end their game. But ideally, you want it to be treasure and then find the exit. This is a fun game. This is a fun take on the whole team Codenames type of games. I think it has room to spread. Unlike Codenames, once you play Codenames, you run through Codenames again and again. This one has levels because you're exploring a world. And when you're exploring a world, you can make that world more difficult by saying, okay, in this game we need 3 treasures before we leave. Whereas the base default is find 1 treasure, get out. But imagine playing this game where it's 3 treasures and then you got to leave. I don't know if it would outstay its welcome at that, because I did find it kind of easy with 1. But playing this with more levels of difficulty could be cool. And I like how it has that ability to stay around for a while. I gave this game a 7.2. Also, Inkling was also a 7.2. But yeah, you have anything to say about
the reason Landmarks didn't make it on my list, it was a very difficult to like sit there and just kind of wait because you want to give the person that's like the master of the giving the clue, you want to give them enough time to really think it out and like give you a proper clue, but also without trying to like, you really don't want side banter, like side talk, because if they hear you say certain things, it might warrant a change in their mind. Of
Codenames suffers from the same thing.
What to give.
If you said, man, I would totally tap
Yeah,
this, if you said, if the next clue is this.
And you don't want to feel like you're
That's cheating, though.
Yeah, you don't want to feel like you're cheating the game or cheating the system by doing that. So
If it feels like cheating, it probably is.
there's a lot of time that I felt like I was just sitting there just waiting and waiting and waiting, and not to the fault of me, because I was not going to take on being that clue giver, because that just did not appeal to me at all. And we played
both games suffer from that.
Yeah, and we played a
And
couple
there's no real way to get around it.
a couple times through it. I was like, there was something about it that made me really feel uneasy when having to just sit there and try not to overly talk or give side banter to throw anything off or seem cheaty. I liked it. I think I would rate it in that like 6.5 for myself personally, because there's nothing wrong with the game whatsoever. It's just parts of it are a little, makes you a little anxious when it's like, okay, I don't want to say too much, but when I got to just sit here and wait for you to give the clue, and then I'm trying to look at him like, what? Like, what are you trying to tell me? Like,
Yeah.
those can, yeah. That's why it didn't make my list.
What did make your list at number 4?
What did make my list at number 4 is another one of those oldies but goodies.
So it won't be on my list.
No. But it was definitely a throwback to something, gosh, I love playing. And that is Space Base. I love games about space to start. Just for starters. If it's going to be a space game, I'm going to want to play. Space Base is one of those oldies but goodies I've loved since it's been out. There's something about being able to do something on someone else's turn.
Yeah, it's not async, but you're still in the game.
You were involved in every step of every turn, whether it's yours or someone else's, and you're trying to build up your turn by making sure you can get the most bang for your buck on someone else's turn. So you're constantly trying to evolve your board, like change it, make it evolve to better both your turn and the other person's turn. And so you're always having to stay connected. There's not a lot of downtime between turns because there's always something for you to do. Because even if it's just checking, well, can I do something? What did they roll? Based on what they rolled? Maybe, maybe not. And it's like, I feel very engaged throughout the game. It's very like quick engagement that really keeps me going with it. But it's still in its essence. Like we played a couple expansions, or was it different like
minor stuff?
Like little.
Did you even say how to play the game?
Huh?
Did you explain how to play the game?
No, I have not explained how to play the game. Other than
Someone's
just
never played it.
Well, for someone who's never played it, so
No. Yeah.
Like pretty much there is a board of cards from numbers 1 through 12. And on a turn, you're going to roll dice that the pips will correlate with the numbers of cards on your board, 1 through 12. You're going to activate a card based on the pip numbers. And there's going to be some, whether it's, credits or whatever they call, like stuff that you can get cards from. There's going to be that, maybe some point abilities. You just follow whatever's on your card. And then at the end of the turn, you could use those credits to purchase other cards from the marketplace to then switch out on your board. And anytime you have to put a new card onto your board, the card you just had tucks underneath the top of your board. And that's the card that then will activate on the next player's turn,
or any player's turn,
or any
other
player's
turn.
Until your next turn. So on anyone else's turn, the cards that are tucked underneath at the top,
you look at their roll.
Yeah, you're going to use their roll, and you're going to see, okay, they rolled a 10, maybe they rolled a
5 and a 5. So you can activate your 5, your reverse side 5.
Yeah.
Twice,
if there's something
or
up
do
there.
the 10 once.
Yeah. If you have something at the top. Now, if you don't, okay, well,
First
you
player
don't
to
get
40
there.
points wins. There's ways to get points. There's a way to get coins. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're always like, there's always something you feel like you can do. And that's what I like. You always feel like there's a possibility of something that could be done. We played a couple little expansions, nothing major, just like a couple extra cards pretty much that were available. For the most part, we just kind of played a base game with those couple extras. But yeah, first to 40 wins, you don't feel like it overstates its welcome. It's definitely something that that really it's all about like hopefully good dice rolls and managing your credits properly to get better cards to switch out and, you know, better your board as you go.
Yeah. I found
So,
a cat.
you have a kitty.
Come on. We'll talk about Space Base.
Space.
I like Space Base. I don't feel the need to expand on it though.
I just like playing the base game of it. Even the couple little expansion cards we did. It was
base.
Yeah, base.
Yep.
I rank it at an 8.5. It is so like high.
That's very high.
It is very high in my rankings. I love that
What
game.
number are we on?
Number 4.
So you're 3 and up or higher than 8.5? Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, I talked about my number 4. Sit down.
It's like,
Jeez.
down you go.
I'm standing there. So what's your number 3?
All right. So my number 3, another space game of that I love, and that is SETI.
Another. I mean, it technically is still the hotness, though.
It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But also, it came from our home collection. But they had 2 copies set up in the hot games area.
But it was good that we brought our own because it definitely was getting played, for sure. And it was just better to have our own.
We had 3D components printing it and everything.
Yeah, just SETI to me, for a bigger game, it does not feel daunting. It doesn't feel overwhelming. I understand everything that's happening. And when I can get into a game that's a little heavier, that's above that 2.5 range complexity in BGG, when it gets in these 3s and 4s, where I feel like it's a little bit more complexity than your basic run-of-the-mill hour-long game, and I can wrap my head around it without any anxiousness, and like I just get it and I understand what's going on, that's when I know I love a game, because it's just pure fun. Like I'm not confused, I'm not overwhelmed, I'm just like enjoying myself. And that's, to me, the marks of a good game, and it is a big hotness still right now. And we picked it up, our copy we picked up from Sobo. So we picked up from like a local vendor at the convention. We wanted to support local business in that way. And it was a game that they said, even like one of the workers said, like they sold out of it at the convention. It was just like, selling off the shelf, and just that alone gives such high ranks from me. If you haven't played SETI, it plays very much like, individual turns one at a time, and you have different options that you could do in a turn. Your basic standard kind of, I would say, very Euro.
Yeah.
Pretty Euro style to it.
Certainly.
But it doesn't seem daunting. That's my main takeaway from it. It's a theme I love and steps I can understand easily.
We could do a whole review on SETI and really dive into the deep parts of it. But some of the highlights I like about it, I love how there's a surprise in the middle of it. Ooh. And if you don't know how to play SETI, I'm going to leave that to you, because there's some good how to plays out there. We didn't make one, but the surprise is one of the coolest parts. Surprise aliens!
But we have played it.
Yeah.
On the.
I don't think we recorded it though.
Maybe not.
There's not a playthrough on this YouTube channel.
Okay.
But there might be one someday. Make sure you subscribe. We played it live on Twitch.
Yeah.
But that cut didn't make it because we played it for like too long, in my opinion. If you like a longer video, let me know in the comments below. And, you know, I still have it. I can upload it. But right now it's not on the channel because I felt like in order to best show the game and a playthrough, maybe play it with fewer players. We played it with 4, which could be, I think it was like a 2 hour and 40 minute game. But that's with edits. So it was even longer than that. It's not on the channel. But let me know if you want it on here. So that takes us to...
Did you give any rank? I don't think I gave a ranking.
Not on my list.
Oh, it's not on your list at all? Oh,
that's I told you.
Oh, yes.
We already have that one.
Anything we've already played. Yep.
Yeah.
So I will give my ranking on it. Comes in a little bit right above what I gave my number 4. So this is an 8.7. And for me, that's like huge. Like,
interesting.
But I did find that
that's higher than any of my rankings.
Oh.
Like my highest ranked thing on here is in the 8s somewhere, but not that high.
I did find that I did get in some games that, like, as of recent, are getting really high marks for me, more than before. And I don't know, maybe it's just the style of games we've been playing lately, but yeah, this ranked very high for me. SETI is something that I look forward to playing the next time we play. It's
cool. Maybe we can make a recording for 2 players.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have so much to say about it, but I think we'll leave that for another review. Like, I want to talk about the player count and stuff like that. If you're interested in SETI review, post that in the comments below. But right now, we're going to talk about the next number.
Yeah, so why don't you go to your number 2 and see what it is?
Or maybe my 3, since you were just...
We didn't catch your number 3?
Then wasn't that your number 3?
Oh, it is my number 3.
So now it's back to me for number 3.
Your number 3.
All right, my number 3 is a game that you've already mentioned. It's called Wine Cellar.
Oh, Wine Cellar.
Yeah, this is a game with pretty cool cards in it, but it's a 25th century game about wine. And you're bidding kind of like King Domino, where these cards have values, and you're bidding in these values, and that sets the order for the next round, just like King Domino. Yeah. But what it does differently than King Domino, or I guess in just a different way, is the way you collect your bottles and the way they score. It has this diagonal system, which I think is cool. It has 10 numbers, and you're putting those bottles on top or on bottom of the bottle you played, or other bottles you've played, and eventually you're going to score them diagonally. So the thing at the top will score at the leftmost number, the thing at the bottom will score the rightmost number, and everything else in between. I thought that was really cool. There's also some other ways to score in this game, but that was the thing that stood out to me. Is like, oh, that's tricky, but simple enough.
There was another way to score based on regions and types.
I thought that was less interesting. But that's something you see in a lot of games.
But you had to make sure, like how in King Domino, if you want to use this card to bid with because it's a high number, but you're not going to be able to use that card to get points from later, it's going to go in the middle, and you're giving it away. But and so...
Did you keep anything from the middle?
There were some times...
from your hand, I mean?
Yeah, there were some times where I, tried so hard to hold something back because I was like, I don't know if I want to play that yet unless I felt it was worth using the number because something else was out there based on my person... I don't remember that part it's like much. My person really wants red wine versus white wine, or they want Spain versus France, or they want this combination of I need this. I'm like, wait, that card's out there. My person, that's a lot of points. Okay, I'm willing to give this away to get that even better thing. So let me swap that out. So I thought that was a neat kind of strategy of how am I going to choose what cards are best to give away to get something better in return.
Yeah, another benefit this game has is not only the cool, skinny, long cards that feature the bottles, but it plays really fast. It's a 10-round game. I think it's a 10-round game. Something like that. It
might have been 8.
Oh, was it 8?
Something like that. It's not a lot of rounds.
It's the number of things. We played it one time.
Yeah.
That was enough for me to know where it stands with me.
It plays very quickly, and that's what I really love too, because it was a quick read through on the rules, pretty much within played within 30 minutes or so. It played quickly.
Yeah.
It was really good with the bidding system where it's like you just kind of can just jump in and bid. Like it was a very easy flowing game. Like I think it flowed well.
Yeah, I gave this game a 7.2, which is exactly what I gave all the other ones. By the way, it's Vincent Dutrait art.
Oh yes.
But the thing about that in that game, it doesn't stand out as much because it's just bottles and stuff. So it's interesting that they hired him to do that, but it is a pull for me.
But you know that's why I went on my wish list to look in the live, because this was the one and only game on my wish list from looking at the Dice Tower library ahead of time.
Right. It is 8 numbers.
Yeah. And when I saw it on the shelf, I was like, oh, I put that on my wish list thing. We should play that. When I saw that Vincent True, I'm like, Vincent art? Yep. I want to play that. Like, that's a pull for me.
I'm starting to see him like do a lot more, and he has great art, but at the same time, I don't know what he charges, but maybe he doesn't charge that much.
Oh, but
maybe he's willing to do a lot, and therefore, like, or maybe people are just willing to pay him because
games with his name are
want to reach out to him and be like, hey, make a I Heart Board Games logo. That'd be really cool to do like a shirt design. By the way, you can get our shirts. In fact, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's a link at the bottom where you can get them on TeePublic, but we also sell them on Redbubble. Everything you need to know about this, iHeartBoard.games. Go to that website. It has links to everything.
Yeah, so crazy enough, 7.2. We linked up on that ranking.
7. Oh, right, because that was way back for you.
Yeah, that was way back.
Because you're in the 8s right now.
Yeah, that was way back for me. That was my number 7. I didn't rank it as high only for certain other reasons of the games that I ranked higher than it based on like experiences and joys with the game. So, but still good. 7.2 for me as well.
Then I think we're ready to move on to number 2.
Number 2?
My number 2 is Hot Streak. You mentioned it earlier.
Oh, yep. That's my number 5.
So a little bit about this game. This is a racing game. You are bidding on who you think will win the race. So you're an outsider. You're not actually one of the figures. There's 4 figures on the board. They're represented by mascots.
Yeah, mascots.
It's silly. It's silly racing games.
Yeah.
It's ready, set, bet, but silly. And you are influencing the race only by adding a single card that says something about one of these contenders, whether they're going to move forward really fast, turn around, slip and fall, whatever. Yeah. But you're influencing it a little bit, and that could influence your bet in this game. Plays really quick. I think the box is really cool. It's a box unlike any other. However, people who use Calyx shelving like we kind of do might be disappointed by that, but we have other shelves that aren't Calyx, so we'll find a place for it if we ever owned it. Up front, I want to say my ranking. It's a 7.6, which tells me I wouldn't be opposed to owning it. But the thing that comes up for me with that is Ready, Set, Bet. And that's my direct comparison. And between the two, I prefer Hot Streak. I think Ready, Set, Bet is okay. We have it because I know you really liked it.
Yeah.
And the what is it called? The High Roller Edition.
Yeah, it's
a really cool version of the game. But just like Hot Streak, that box does not fit on a Calyx.
It's humongous.
It's a little. It's not on camera.
It's a little big.
Yeah, it's not on camera. It's further over or whatever. But it sits on top of our shelves because it has to.
Yeah.
And Hot Streak would suffer from that box as well. But when we talk about what's inside the box, the minis are really funny looking. They're really cool. They're probably pre-painted, I would imagine.
Yeah, they're kind of like these.
They're like
chunky.
Toys. They're toys.
Yeah, these like chunky toy miniatures that come pre-painted.
And you're laughing and yelling the whole time, even though you're just flipping cards and showing it off. Whereas a high roller, or not high roller edition, Ready, Set, Bet, you're rolling dice a lot to move the horses along. I prefer the simplicity of flipping a card and seeing what happens. It works in this game because it needs to be close, whereas in the other game, it's the probability of dice. Oh, yeah. I just think if this were Board Game Evolution, this is what is the next evolution of Ready, Set, Bet. Even though Ready, Set, Bet just came out not too long ago. To me, this is the better one.
I think Hot Streak is something that's more like take out and play with the kids, family style, easy to understand, versus Ready, Set, Bet is a little bit more complexity. Not that it's more complex in difficulty. It's just more to take in versus a cutesy mascot, flip a card. It's just a more kind of, I see it as like the little kid family style,
but it goes
to racing.
It goes beyond that.
But yeah, but also anyone could enjoy it.
That's it. Anyone can enjoy it.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think that's true for Ready, Set, Bet. We're making this direct comparison because the games are so similar.
Yeah. But what I do like about the cards in this one, which I actually compare it to Colt Express, the entire buildup of how the cards go in, and you have no clue the program movement of how it's going to turn out, is to me Colt Express. Because when you throw in a card, you know what you're throwing in, you know what's going in there, but you have no clue how it is going to come out, what order. You might have thrown in something that said, I want this person to slide two steps over. You don't know when they're going to slide 2 steps over. It could mess you up, because what if you placed a bet on a mascot, because you could place a bet on a mascot, they're going to be the winner. What if you place that bet on the mascot thinking you put in +4 things, but the other person bumped into you and you're off the board? Then you're out. Now your bet's like not there. But there's no way of knowing that. So it's all like that building of like how the cards are going to come out, which I think is like the funnest part of the game, because it's that randomness that's like, oh gosh, oh no, the mascot fell over. Oh, let's help him up. Oh, he's turned around. Oh gosh, now he's going backwards. Oh, let's turn him around again. Like, it's just that makes it funny, because then you're getting into it like, poor mascot, he's going the wrong way. The thing's coming. Oh no, he's down. Like, we
Did
really
you give
got
it a rating?
Huh?
Did you give it a rating?
Yeah, so mine's 7.9, which is, very good score. I really did
This is
enjoy
your first video of that you're watching of ours. Our scales are quite different. She rates from like a 5 to 10 scale.
Well, no,
I do the full BGG scale.
I have reverted back into like trying to make it a 1 through 10. I just feel like my ratings seem like in a higher scale level than yours.
I just go off of the BGG rating, which it tells you on BGG, it tells you exactly what a 7 means, exactly what an 8 means. So that's where I go with it.
Yeah, and I think I rate things in like the 6s and 7s when I really, really enjoy it, and like the 8 and up when it's like extravagant, and then like that 5 and under when it's like, oh no,
Usually it has to be a
badness
7
bears.
or higher for me to want to own it.
But yeah, 7.9 is really good for me. Like I really enjoyed our gameplay. Like I would love to own that game. I think it would be a fun time, whether it's with family, with friends, with both. I just think that it's a universal game that could lend itself to more group variety than some other racing games, because it does have that racing aspect, but it's not overly racing. It's not like if you're trying to play like a racing game.
It's racing as
betting
much as
game.
Downforce is racing.
Yeah, like it's
You're
very
just betting.
Yeah. It's very easy to take in, and it's just cute, and it's like you get into it and you just get like hyped up. Like, I find it funny when it's like, oh no, mascot down,
Yeah.
help.
It made for a lot of moments, and that's why it's
we
my
had
number
fun
2.
moments. Yeah.
What number was it?
Number 5.
So what's your number 2?
So my number 2, and I've talked about this before in some other walking reviews we've had, and my love for it is Moon Colony Bloodbath.
Oh, another one brought from home.
Oh my gosh, I love this game.
So what is that saying, that half of your list is bring from home games?
But see, I think that is something that a convention really can show us as board gamers, is that we crave that ability to go to a convention. And Dice Tower is a perfect example of this because it is a gamer's con. This is not your going, like not like a Gen Con where it's huge and everybody just buying stuff all the time. This is like you are going because you want to play games. This is probably the most games I've gotten played in a long time in 1 week, like a week's time span. I mean, from the time we got there on the Monday till the time we left the week later, we played a lot.
Yeah. So what is it telling you, though? That's how you started this sentence.
It's telling me it's like it sometimes takes a convention to truly get you playing the games you could just play at home. But like it brings about the mentality of like, I'm going to this convention. We're going to play games. Like that is your point. That's your purpose.
Yeah, that's why we went.
And whether it's bringing them from home or playing them from the library, it's just giving you that reason that like I bought this game for a reason. I should just be playing at home, but work happens and
we got
things happen and life happens. Life happens, but when you go to something like a convention, that is just your mindset. I'm gonna play games. Let's play as many as we can. And we brought Moon Calling from home because like I knew I didn't want a chance us not getting. I didn't want a chance us not having a copy in their library to play it with people who hadn't played it yet. And that did happen often. I saw it checked out many times.
I think it was in the top 10 or top games.
And so we brought it because I didn't want a chance us not getting a copy from the library when we had our own copy. And we had gotten it before Dice Tower. We played it many times. So when we brought it to Dice Tower, it's like, okay, I wanted to share something I love so much with others. And yet again, another space game. That's one of my loves. And so sharing something I think so highly of with other people is also another big contribution to what do we do at cons. We share what we enjoy with other people. And so I was like, I love this game. I want to share it with y'all. So let's play it. We played it twice. It was like of all the games that we could have played more than once at the con, that was one of them. We played it 2 different times. And I love it a little bit more every time I play it.
I was trying to see what other games we played twice.
We did play one that did not make my list. But
Edo we played like 3 times.
Oh, that did not make my list. One that did not make my list that it was all right. It's not my cup of tea or style, but Here Lies. We played that a couple times.
Yeah.
And that's the mystery findy out kind of game. Not exactly my
Things
go-to.
and Rings we played a few times. Yeah, there's a lot of games we played a few times.
Oh, I did not get to play Things and Rings with y'all. That was another one of those I woke up too late.
We played that around the time we played the gang, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you missed out on a bunch.
You can't sleep in or go to bed early at cons.
You got to maximize your time.
Maximize the hours.
So that's number 2, right?
Yeah, that was my number 2.
All we have left is 1.
And it still stays strong at my ranking of 9.
9.
It has not left its
But you got
spot.
something at number 1 that's higher than that, which is crazy. Jeez, if you ever did you do a top 10 on this channel?
I have, and it has a very different kind of list of games.
Well, yeah, because that game didn't exist at the time.
Yeah, it didn't exist at the time.
Yeah, there's a bunch of games, and the game you're going to bring up didn't exist at the time.
So, yeah, probably a good time to maybe make another top 10, within this year. It's been a little
Post in the comments, Melissa, give us your top 10. Just like that. Melissa, give us your top 10.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think our number 1's the same.
Probably so. So let's mention the honorable mentions.
True. I don't have any.
I had 2.
Because I didn't write them down. I mean, sure, I could have thought of some. You go ahead and I'll think of some.
I had 2, one of which I already spoke of because it was on your list, Inkling, which was very much right there. Almost made it as my 10 instead of Dwellings. It was close. The other one And this was one of the games that we did play more than once. We played it twice during the convention, brought from home, shared it with others kind of thing, was Seaside. I really enjoyed that game. It is such a neat packaging. Yeah, it's up there. It's up there on the by the trash by the little
these are
by the little green trash can.
Smaller box, or in this case, a bag game.
Yeah, it's in that little bag.
Oh, yeah, there it
It is
Right there.
Yeah, it's a really neat idea for a game because of the pieces. They're supposed to be all weather type of pieces. It comes with wooden chips that are supposed to like help with if you were going to actually play it by the seaside, like in the sand, it's supposed to not, harm it if it's by sand or wet or whatnot.
But then you have a game full of sand, and then
yeah, maybe not in the sand, but next to the sand. But it's a neat. The components are really neat with the wooden chips. They're double-sided chips with the little abilities for different, depending on how you're gonna
mention. So
yeah,
let's not get too far into it. But you probably got more. You probably got
no. I just have these two, and they both ranked the same for me, 6.7. I put them right there at that like kind of high up sixes. Inkling, and I almost made Inkling 10 and did not put Dwellings on the list. It was that close for me.
All right, my honorable mentions. I'm going over the list. Ito makes it for me.
Oh,
this is card version of Wavelength. If that sounds exciting to you, I think it's fine. I think I prefer. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I still prefer Wavelength just because the gimmick of the big plastic thing is cool. Another one that I would say made my honorable mentions. See, we played other games. I guess I don't even really need to mention them.
Those two just stood out to me as like
Fellowship of the Ring, trick-taking game. I see potential in that being good. We've only played the first three things. We had a bad experience with the quality of the game. I think that hurt it.
Yeah.
If it would have been a nice quality copy of the game, maybe we would have liked it a little more to keep pushing. But it was a struggle to shuffle that deck. It was wrecked. But I see potential in that game, like 10th episode of it. I think the complications would have been delightful.
I think just a couple rounds in, we were already so done with the cards, we didn't want to deal with it anymore. And it was one of those, I think we've gotten the gist of it. Let's just call this a demo and be done with it. Had we given it a full chance with all the rounds and going through the storyline as it was, maybe we'd feel differently. But as it stands, it ranked to me like lowest. That and Ito. I would much prefer to play Wavelength. I did not enjoy constantly messing up the number order. That was just like frustrating on my account. But I can see the interesting, I can see both of them having potential to be interesting games that I should give another chance to.
Yeah.
I don't want to just write them off.
Well, let's not take too much time talking about things we don't like. But if you want to see that, post it in the comments saying, what were the worst games at Dice Tower East? Because we do have a list of that. But we're going to try to keep it positive here. And we're going to talk about our number one game because it's the same game.
Oh, yes.
We're going to say it in 3, 2, 1. Unconscious Mind. Yeah.
Ooh.
And let's put our rating up top. And my rating for that is a 8.3, which is on my list pretty high.
And mine's a 9.1.
Okay, just edging out that.
Just edging out.
Since playing that, we played it at 3 at the con. We played it at home several times at 2.
2, yeah.
And then we played it at 4 recently. So we played every player count. I don't recommend this at 4.
No.
3 is fine.
I think 3 is the sweet spot.
And
for
2
that.
is great too.
I do like it at 2, but even at 3 gives you that little bit so the way the game plays, if you have not played Unconscious Mind, is that you have this board that is like a board that everyone can use. But depending on the player counts, it will block off those options, and each little area, there's only so many people who can go to that area. And so it kind of limits that options there. Then you have your own personal player board, which you're moving around like this little, it's like like an ink pod or something. What is it? Ink little thing that you're moving around on your turn. And you can there's 3 options. You're only ever going to do 3 different types of things. You're either going to put something out on the main board and move your little ink to get things or to do something, to do an action, or you're going to, just like Freud, because it's Freudian themed, it's all based on like the ideas, of Freud, like treat these patients and you need certain things for them, or you're going to just rest. You're resting. Go get yourself a cup of coffee, because you get coffee when you rest. So my idea is like, okay, Freud's rested now. He's going to get his cup of coffee. He's kind of resetting himself, ready for the next day. So that's really all you're doing, one of those 3 actions. But there's so many things that can happen within those actions. So when you get more players playing, those turns might take a little bit. You got a lot of stuff to think out. Well, how am I going to treat these people? Or what am I going to gather so that I can treat the people? When I rest, what kind of things that takes some time. So if you're playing with 4 players, you might be waiting a little bit. Now, you could play with a group that they're just going because know the game. You just know the game. Like if we were to play with other people that kind of know, then we might snap. But even multiple plays in, I was questioning things. And I knew what was going on. But, you might question just to make sure you're not, like, doing the wrong thing. It just took a little bit. When we were playing just 2-player, it was snapping along 3. Even when we played 3, not too bad. But what I liked about it is, like, there's only those 3 things you're going to do. And everything just makes sense. Oh, my God. Everything clicks. Everything makes sense. Everything is just... like there's these steps, and I love the player aids in this game too. Like those like little like the cards that show you all the
they run through everything.
Yeah, it just runs so it tells you.
But even so, I had to print out an extra player.
Well, and even the ones that you printed out, there's those options.
Well, those are homemade.
Yeah, there's options for having that homemade thing. So there's just easy accessibility to helpful player aids, which allow you to answer your own questions, your own time. We're not waiting for, hey, I need the rule book, or hey, what do I do here? Then there's details of what each card does. Each card is kind of unique of like these clients that you're helping and treating. And of course, there's the art. So Vincent's name on that box. As soon as I saw Vincent's name on the box, like, let's play.
And Andrew Bosley.
Oh, yeah, and Andrew. So this was a duo. And I do Forever, and I love that art too. So it's like once you see certain names on the bot, it's like I wasn't sure anything about the game. We just sat there to play. It was in the hotness area, wasn't it? It was like one of those already set up.
Took up 2 tables at the hotness area. Mm-hmm. We knew we wanted the game, and so we picked it up on the way home.
Yeah,
stopping by random stores, which we like to do. Mm-hmm. So if you have a store that's your favorite, recommend it to us in the comments. We'll stop by anytime we're in the area.
Oh, yeah, because that is something that we have done many times
someone
before.
in a video suggested Madness Games in Dallas. I think it's called Madness. It's been like 3 years since we've been.
Oh, yeah.
I stopped there and marked it on my map because someone suggested it.
Yeah, and this was a place you had marked on your map for a while now.
For me, it's marking it, but yeah.
Yeah, and as soon as we saw it on the shelf, because we were like, well, what you get? Like, we loved this at the con. I had already decided. Literally, I was like, maybe later on that day, I was like, I think that was my number 1. Like, it was one of those, like, I made that realization almost right away. I was like, this is number 1. Like, I love this.
Yeah.
And as soon as we saw on the shelf, like, there was like a almost no question. That's what we're getting. I was like, yeah, we need this game. And it was almost immediately coming home, we just played it. And very rarely will I ever ask to play something back to back like that. Something very like big and filling and like, I was like, let's play again. I want to try again. I want let me do better.
Yeah.
And it's like that's saying a lot, because like I challenge myself to, okay, now let me try again. I know I can do better. I know I can get more points. It's like, that's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something we need to do a playthrough of. We don't have that on this channel yet.
No.
But I think at 2 players, it can be a good playthrough. It'd still be probably 2 hours after editing, maybe an hour and 40 minutes. But I think it's worth showing off. Because it's a fun game. Much more fun to play, because watching it, you'll see how long the turns can take.
But I think it warrants that long to take, because you want to make sure, like, you don't want to forget any steps. There are a few steps in each
that could
turn.
be a knock against it, is that steps can be forgotten. Even though there's only 3 things you can do on a turn, but one of those things is way long. Like, it's 4 steps.
The thing that we always ended up forgetting was that moving that ink pod.
Exactly. That's the step I'm talking about.
Yeah. And if you don't move it, you lose benefits.
That turn feels like 2 turns in one.
Yeah. So you're getting a lot done in one turn. And if you're playing multiple players, that can feel like a long time before you get your next turn. But you're getting so much done. And it does seem daunting at first, as far as like when the game is going to like pick up and start progressing really fast. But once it picks up, because you kind of start off a little kind of slow moving, but then right there towards the middle point of the game, it starts amping up. And then by the time you get to the end, you're like, wait, no, I'm not ready yet. It's been hours, but I'm not ready to end.
That's the sound of a good game, though.
One more
You score way more in 2-player, and that's probably the reason I would suggest this to be a 2-player game, is because you feel like you get more of those things done that you want to get done. Because the way the game works is you hit these achievements, let's call them that, that anyone can achieve. And if you play with 4 players, everyone's hitting those achievements. That's speeding up the game. Meanwhile, we haven't really gotten to do the things we wanted to do yet.
Yeah.
So it's a good game, but that's why I gave it that score. That's why it's not even higher on my list. But were there any things on this particular top 10 that you were like, I want to play that, or I have played that, here's my opinion on it? Let us know that opinion in the comments below. But until next time, the box is closed.